We're back.
I feel good that a lot of people like texted me or like messaged like Twitter. At least somebody's watching. Thank you so much. Thank you. Are we back into the regular stream?
I think.
Or do we have to restart? Hang on.
No, we're good.
We're good?
We're good.
All right, we apologize. We apologize for that. It happens. So we're good?
Yeah.
Good? All right, welcome back. Appreciate everybody sticking with us here. All right, we were running through. I'm going to start back at the top then, because obviously nobody heard Mike tweets. That was your best take I've ever heard, Matt. Yeah. We're back. All right, so we're running through Cynthia Freeland's win total for the AFC. Let's just reset quick. Number 1, Kansas City Chiefs, 10.9 wins. Number 2, Bengals, 10.5 wins. Number 3, Houston, 10.3 wins. Number 4, Miami, 10.2. So she says those are your 4 division winners: Kansas City, Houston, Cincinnati, and Miami. So all 10 wins plus there. Your first wild card team, also at 10.2 wins, the Baltimore Ravens. Buffalo gets wild card number 2 at an even 10 wins. And your third wild card goes to the Jets, 9.6 wins to grab wild card number 3 for the New York Jets. On the outside looking in, by a full game gap, 8.7 wins for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 8.6 for your Cleveland Browns, which again, according to Cynthia, you will be the second team to miss the playoffs. You're not even like number 1. You're not even first alternate. You are number 2 when it comes to the wild card at 8.6. You are plus money, plus 160 to make the playoffs. Now, somebody goes, you're in YouTube jail like Scottie Scheffler.
The clink.
The clink. We're there. No, we're not Scott. We're not Scottie Scheffler. Here's Cynthia's write-up on the Browns, excuse me. First, can I just ask her, that's painful to think about the Browns. Only 8 wins, man. 8.5. Like, everybody's sitting here going, oh, double-digit wins, no question. Double-digit wins gets you into the playoffs. But if I told you that the Chiefs, Bengals, Dolphins, and Texans were going to be your division winners, that's not crazy. If I told you that Buffalo, the Ravens, and the Jets were your wild card teams, I don't think that's crazy either. The Jets would be the one team that you kind of crap on. You're like, wait a minute. Are they really going to be
Clay's Super Bowl prediction winner?
I get it. I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers coming back. But then the Steelers missing. And, of course, what are the Steelers? Oh, they always make it, bro. I think they're going to have a lot of problems this year. I think the Steelers are going to have a lot of problems
I'd
this year.
love to say that, Matt, but I've had those words shoved down my throat for the last 5 years.
But their schedule, on how hard that is, Warren Sharp had this. The Steelers' schedule has never been seen in the NFL ever, where they have every single one of their division games from week 11 or later. That's never happened in the NFL before.
This year, they don't play the first divisional game till week 11.
Week 11.
Wow.
Browns aren't till like week 8. That has never happened in the NFL before. I want to find Warren's exact tweet here. Hang on one second. Okay, the grid. Yep. Hang on. I'm sorry. Since division realignment in 2002, right? Remember when you used to have the AFC Central? Since the division realignment in 2002, never before has the NFL put all of a team's divisional games from week 11 or onward. For the Steelers, who play in the toughest division, that is absolutely brutal.
That is pretty nuts.
And they also have back-to-back against the Chiefs and the Eagles mixed in. And then you got to get Russell Wilson back up to speed and him playing the way that you expect him to, right? So, again, you discredit, you count out. I just want to make sure we're live again on Twitter. Did you check that? We're good? Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure. There it is. It didn't populate for me for a second. But anyway. So that's the Steelers. Go ahead and take the Steelers out of it. So the Browns, who would finish behind them, I guess that's the other crazy thing. You talk about the messed up schedule for the Steelers and all the crap they got to deal with. Cynthia has the Browns behind them. Her write-up on Cleveland. The Browns will dealt the NFL's hardest schedule based on their opponent's final record from last year. But she says, Browns fans, fear not. Their slate isn't as bleak as it might seem. I currently have Cleveland's schedule as the 5th hardest, but that outlook became more favorable once the preseason starts. we'll hopefully get a chance to see how some key offensive players are coming off their injuries. Watson, Chubb, the offensive line. The Browns' final 4 games, Chiefs, Bengals, Dolphins at Ravens, which follow a trip to Pittsburgh in Week 14, are going to be the real test and the key stretch for this team. And in fact, that sequence currently ranks as the hardest final 4 games of any team in the NFL. But again, that could change for better. Her reason for optimism is the defense. The unit ranked top 2 in passer rating, completion percentage, and quarterback pressures last season, creating that really solid win total floor, especially given the Browns' more favorable first 5 games to start the season. So what Cynthia is saying here, at her 8.6 wins for the Browns and missing the playoffs by a full game and a half, it starts easy, it finishes tough. But if your defense can get after the quarterback like they were last year, you might be able to even things out against Burrow, Mahomes, and Tua, and let alone Lamar Jackson late in the year.
Week 17 and 18 is Dolphins-Bengals?
No, Ravens are the final game of the year.
Okay, so
the last stretch, you go Steelers, home against the Chiefs, at Cincinnati Thursday night, home Sunday night against the Dolphins, at the Ravens, which might get flexed too.
Well, good
by
thing,
the way.
That's the reason for optimism. Week 18, we'll just be resting our starters.
That you might catch
and
Baltimore on that too.
And then week 17, you're getting the Dolphins coming into what's probably going to be a snowy game in Cleveland.
It could be. Yeah, 100%.
Saw how that playoff game went.
That is something else that factors in when you talk about the schedule and how you play it out and when you face teams and all that kind of stuff.
I'm pushing my anti-dome agenda.
I don't want a dome either. You know how I feel about it. I've given that fight up because I just don't want to argue with people anymore on it. But yeah, that certainly has a factor in it as well. But I don't get wrapped up in the let's play the schedule game and do all that other kind of stuff. I sit back, I say, you know what? Let's see how it plays out. But Cynthia crunching the numbers. Teams behind the Browns. Jacksonville 8.4, Chargers 8.2, Colts an even 8. And then a drop off to the Raiders, Titans, Broncos, Patriots finishing on out. So here's just under her win projections. You got that group. Dolphins, Chiefs, Texans, Ravens, Bengals. Then I see a little gap to the next group. And I guess you could even put Buffalo up there.
No.
Maybe.
Not this year.
Right. Then there's this group, Jets, us, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville Chargers. There's your next wave. And then you have that other group of they have no prayer, right, in making the playoffs. It's going to be a grind. It's going to be really tough for the Browns. The other thing about those the primetime games that we got to remember, all this flexibility. Because I think there's something to be read into why the NFL scheduled so many games for the Browns in primetime late in the year. And I think about the flex. I think that tells you the NFL doesn't know what the Cleveland Browns are going to be this season, right? You got all the star power, which I can't wait to talk about Taylor Swift.
No.
Dude, this is nuts about Taylor Swift. We'll get to that in a second. You know the good teams. You know that the teams that are going to be watched, the Jets, people are on it. I think there's something to be read into that the NFL, they don't trust the Browns. So let's schedule some of their primetime games later in the year because we'll have our answer on who they are. I'm feeling, man, I feel like there's at least one flex coming up for the Browns. Whether it's they're not good or their opponent isn't good and you flex that game on out, I think there's a lot to be read into about why the primetime games are so much later into the season because they don't know what the Browns are going to be. You can say, I guess, for any team, right? You don't know what the Jets are going to be. But I really, as I was kind of getting through the schedule a little bit more about them placing them so much later, I think that tells you something from the league office. I think that really kind of tells you where they're at with the Cleveland Browns.
I'll listen to it.
All right, let's talk Taylor Swift for a second. Did you see the news that came out yesterday?
Yep.
The NFL, and it was their VP of something. I think VP of broadcast or something, whatever. And I apologize. I don't even know where he was on. I think he might have been Dan Patrick, whatever. He fully admitted that the NFL took Taylor Swift into account when they scheduled their games. Think about that statement. That the NFL took Taylor Swift's tour schedule into account when they scheduled it out. Ryan, Taylor Swift is more powerful than God. The NFL bends the knee to no one. Sunday, our day now. Christmas, we don't care. College football, basketball, none of that. You can all go to hell. But wait a minute, Taylor Swift. She could sell 1 billion albums. She could sell out any arena. Bro, she made the NFL bend the knee to her. That is the most impressive thing that Taylor Swift could ever do in her career. I don't care how many tickets she sells, how many nights consecutive she can sell at Madison Square Garden. She made the NFL bend the knee to her.
I don't remember Michael Jackson ever doing that.
Never in a million years would I think there is somebody that powerful, singularly powerful, to make the NFL change their schedule for her.
You think they're threatening to blackball Travis if he breaks up with her?
Well, and it's not even that. Like, what do they want? They want her in the suite so they could pan the camera to her all the time.
Yeah.
Because they know the importance of the Swiftie. Dude, there should be a church of Taylor Swift. And I guess that there's already a little bit of a following. She is more powerful than God. She is more, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are religious. I'm just kidding. But seriously, she did something that God couldn't do. She wields more power against the NFL than our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Our Lord and Savior, Taylor Swift. Like,
that is pretty nice.
What would be the commandments of the Taylor Swift church? It'd be all related to ex-boyfriends, right? Once thy goes country, thy never go back.
Something like that. Protect thy Swifties.
Protect thy Swifties. Never forgive an ex-boyfriend. I don't know. Travis Kelce's a disciple. Who'd be the disciples in the Taylor Swift church? Who'd be the devil? Who she got beef with?
Kanye.
Okay, Kanye. Not good. Certainly plays that role to a point.
He'd certainly be the devil.
She is doing something serious that no one has ever done before to the NFL. She is making them bend the knee to the NFL and them changing their schedule for her. Why? Because they want their 35 seconds of her in the booth, right? Like, I never thought I'd see the day. And I'm not saying I buy into conspiracy theories about the teams, like the NFL having a rooting interest in teams. But they want the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They want the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Like, you know that.
That's ridiculous.
You know that. That's where it starts to get dicey, bro. Because you know those officials know that too.
I think Taylor Swift should sit out of all Chiefs activities.
Like suspender?
I hope she goes on a rant about Harrison Butker.
Oh,
Taylor Swift's the strongest woman in the world.
I know. And what he's saying, for those who don't know what Harrison Butker was saying in a commencement
I wonder
speech,
what Taylor's thoughts are on Travis' teammate.
Dude, watch it. And they're not going to cut him. Like, he's a good kicker, but there's an association there.
Dude, if the NFL told him you have to kick him.
You understand? Dude, how quickly did Jackson Mahomes shut up? Stopped hearing about that because there's an association. Brittany Mahomes is now in Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. There's all these associations with Taylor Swift. Big business, buddy. It's big business over there.
This is big conspiracy. So in the scenario where Taylor Swift says, I'm not attending any Chiefs games unless Harrison Butker's off the team.
Oh, he's cut tomorrow. He's cut tomorrow, man. Think about that.
That's unbelievable.
Think about it.
Like 100% NFL saying, nope, cut him.
I mean, not the NFL, the Chiefs. I mean, the pressure would be from the NFL.
Right.
Actually, you want to know what? Would that not, like, create drama then? And that's
create a fat lawsuit from Harrison.
Oh, from that? I mean, here's the thing. If the Chiefs, let's give full context. Harrison Butker is the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. He had a commencement speech at some college, I don't even know. He made comments about pro-choice and pro-life. But the biggest one, he made comments about women getting aprons on and going into the kitchen. Like, what a piece of crap, okay? What a piece of crap. And I understand that, I try to live in a world that as much as I disagree with the things that Harrison Butker says, if I have a right to disagree with him, he also needs to have the right to be able to say what he wants to say. That's where I think we lose a lot of this in today's day and age in this country, right? You might disagree vehemently with that person over there saying, well, if you want them to give you the right to disagree, they also need to have the right to say what they want to say. So, again, I don't like what Harrison Butker said. I think he's a jackass for it, but I don't got to deal with him. The team has a right to release him for whatever reason they want. They could just come out and say, you know what? We don't feel like you're kicking well anymore. Or straight up, we don't like what you stand for. Now, the flip side is, on much more serious offenses, there are teams that stick by good players, right? Even if they did something wrong. Like, how many chances did Tyreek Hill keep getting? All that kind of stuff. By the way, his 10th kid's on the way. Congratulations to him. He and his wife are expecting.
He's running for Nick Cage's.
He's on it. No,
not Nick Cage. Nick Cannon.
No, not Nick Cage. Nick Cannon. But, Tyreek Hill allegedly broke his son's arm. There's all different varying offenses, right? But if the Chiefs really want to come out and say, yeah, we're done with Harrison Butker, but if that had something to do with Taylor Swift, then what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? True. But the fact that the NFL, and that they admitted it, that Taylor Swift changed their scheduling or had an impact on their scheduling to make sure that she was there.
Could you imagine if it came out if Travis cheated on Taylor?
Oh, everybody's waiting he's under the microscope right now, buddy. Like every little bit of it.
It'd be the NFL versus Swifties.
Yeah, I mean, and
Who's
again,
winning that battle?
Swifty. Well, the thing is,
maybe that'll be the war that ends the world.
The NFL survived pre-Taylor Swift, like they'll survive after. The only thing that the NFL is really happy about is they got into a market and a demographic that there was unattainable before. Unattainable, right? And once people grab onto it, they could split amicably. They could come out and just say, you know what? Nobody did anything wrong. This just didn't work. And I think everybody would kind of accept that. And I hope it works out for them. I don't like seeing people break. Like, dude, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are already breaking up, right? No love in the world anymore. You're engaged or you're married for a year.
We got a little breaking news.
Is it Scott Scheffler related?
Scottie Scheffler has made his statement regarding his arrest earlier this morning.
Statement from Scott. All right, go.
Quote, this is from Jeff Darlington.
Okay.
Of Scottie Scheffler.
Scottie Scheffler.
This morning, I was proceeding as directed by police officers. It was a very chaotic situation, understandably so considering the tragic accident that had occurred earlier, and there was a big misunderstanding of what I thought I was being asked to do. I never intended to disregard any of the instructions. I'm hopeful to put this to the side and focus on golf today. Of course, all of us involved in the tournament expressed our deepest sympathies to the family of the man who passed away in the earlier accident this morning. It truly puts everything in perspective.
So that tells you what he's saying is I was just listening to directions. That paints a little bit of a different picture of Scottie being defiant. I'm assuming everybody's seen the story, but if you're just catching up now, Scottie Scheffler, #1 world golfer, on his way to the PGA Championship this morning, was arrested, taken to jail, booked, mugshot. He's back at the tournament, ready to tee off here in about 20 minutes. What happened was he drove past a barricade of officers. They tried to stop him. He didn't listen. He then stopped. They pulled him out of the car. They'd arrested him. So that, again, makes it sound like there was a big misunderstanding of what I thought I was being asked to do. That puts a little... It's not like Scottie drove up and he goes, I'm going this way and I don't care what you say and I'm Scottie Scheffler, get out of my way. That's not what it sounds... And I never thought that. But you could see in the video this morning, I think it was just a massive amount of confusion on Scottie's face, but there was a little defiance, I thought there. I thought there was a little bit because he's probably like, I know I didn't do anything wrong. This is what you told me to do, maybe. At the end of the day, I think the best for everybody would be is if they drop the charges, which there are reports that they already have. And then, again, Scottie, do this. The best thing you could do, hey, there was a mistake. Nobody is at fault. It's very sad that this person passed away earlier this morning. We move on. That's it. And Scottie goes out there and plays golf. The question is, like, where's his headspace at? Did he warm up properly? Is he ready to go? I don't know. But a crazy morning this morning. So there's our statement from Scottie Scheffler, and he tees off in about 20 minutes. So, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I guess the other thing is, do you actually, like, how involved should be with everything? Like, how involved, like, how much do we really need insight to what happened? Not very much. Not very much. Dude, never thought we'd see that. All right, I'm going to leave it up to you. We have Spencer at 10:30, so we can't do timeout then. We still have to do the grid. Do you just want to break here, come back, and rip through all three?
Sure.
I still have MVP quarterback rankings, top 10. Let's do this. Let's break. We'll tell you about Tipico. When we come back, we're going to rip through the morning update. We're going to rip through time up. We'll get right through our grid, and then we'll have Spencer at 10:30 to talk everything Cavs. More drama with the Cavs. Good tweet here from More You Cleveland. Cavs sent out a thank you fans. They sent a picture without Darius Garland or Jared Allen in.
Ooh, conspiracy.
Ooh, hit the button. Hit the button. But you have the. We got to get that over here. It's been months.
I've been trying to find the right sound.
Ooh, conspiracy. They sent a picture with Mitchell Strus, Levert, Okoro, and Evan Mobley.
That is kind of weird, actually.
I mean, I probably just go with they tried to find the best picture with Donovan Mitchell in it. I don't know. The Cavs sent out a thank you for the fans this season and didn't put in Jared Allen or Jared Allen or Darius Garland. Very interesting. All right, catch our break, come back, get ripped through a lot of things, folks. We'll tell you about Tipico as well. Get signed up with code Fontana150. You want to bet on the golf? Go jump on Scott Scheffler if you think he's really going to get after it today.
I heard there's potentially very soon a Tipico boosting Scottie.
All right. Go check it out, folks. Download that Tipico app using the code Fontana150. Here's what he's on the range. I see him. He's warming up. 15 minutes till his tee time. I mean, we've all been rushed to a tee time before. I don't think quite like this. Here's what you do. The golf is going to be hot this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. One of my favorite things.
Oh, it's already boosted on.
Is it already up? What is it? What is it?
You got boosted from plus 450 to plus 580.
Of Scottie winning the tournament?
Yes.
All right, there you go. Bet on the golf. My favorite thing to do is just the in-round betting. I cashed one yesterday. What was it? Oh, my God. Anyway, it's just between like two golfers, right? And it's just the round for today. And you pick who you want to go. Might have been, no, it wasn't Scheffler. I had somebody in the afternoon wave. But you can sign up today with Tipico, code Fontana150 for you new customers. You deposit $150. I know it's a big ask, but still, deposit $150. You will get two $75 protected bets. And you're off to the races for golf. You're out for NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and you're on your way to cashback rewards. You're on your way to the boosts, the parlays that are all there. You like Tony Finau or Hideki Matsuyama. Now, here's the thing. It's just the second round. Finau was hot. Do you like Homa or Victor Hovland today? Spieth or Sahith Theegala? Do you like Cam Smith or Justin Thomas today? Brooks or Bryson? Oh, I like Brooks. I like that a lot. Get up with Tipico. Get signed up today. Code Fontana150, and you're getting ready to go. Oh, I love these. I'm going to sit here and do a lot of these. And you can also do for the entire tournament. Like Patrick Cantlay, Max Homa, who's going to finish better in this tournament? Homa, a big favorite there. Get signed up. Get betting with Tipico. All right, we got to run through everything. We got to get to Time Hop. We got to get to the grid. We got to get to the morning update. And Spencer Davies talking nothing but Cavs coming up at 10:30. Stay with us. Fontana's show right here on Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
We're back. Welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Audio is fixed. I got a lot of snarky texts from friends going, the show sounds the best it ever has. We're through our audio issues. We're back streaming live up on YouTube, Twitch, and on Twitter as well. You know, they finally changed it to x.com.
Oh,
it just happened today. They finally switched from Twitter to X. So thanks, Elon. Great job, buddy. Just keep it going. We got Scheffler. We got golf. The one thing about major golf do you not just sit at home just craving, like, I just want to go hit some wedges in the backyard. I just want to get out and swing a little bit. But nonetheless, Scheffler about to tee off. Rahm already in the fairway. Let's get to it. Spencer Davies, half hour away. We have a run right now. Update, grid, time up. Spencer, go!
All right, we'll make it quick. We'll start with the Cavaliers. Their season has come to a close after losing in the Eastern Conference semifinals to Boston Celtics. Now the big question in the offseason remains to be seen whether Donovan Mitchell will sign an extension or turn it away and potentially want to move on somewhere else. Matt, he came on Twitter last night to defend some criticism, not necessarily criticism, but a report of him not necessarily liking Cleveland, but having some arguments or disdain towards his teammates.
I've said this 1,000 times. I'll make this 1,001 times. He could like it here. He could like his teammates. He could think that they could win here. He likes the dynamic. He likes the chemistry. He loves Polish boys. He goes to Sokolowski's. He's had the corned beef. And he could still leave. All those things can be true, right? He could love the city of Cleveland. And he could love Darius Garland. But for the right move for him for his career to move on, those things could all happen. And I don't think this is an easy decision for Donovan Mitchell. I know it's not. This is as much as this is a franchise-changing decision for the Cavs, this is a career-changing move for Donovan Mitchell. And I so much look at Donovan Mitchell is a really good player. He is good enough that it'll be a crime, not reckless abandonment or eluding police like Scottie Scheffler. It will be a crime if Donovan Mitchell doesn't win a championship in his career, or very the least make an NBA Finals. And I'm sure that weighs on him a little bit. He's at the middle point of his career. He's in the prime of his career. And you just don't want to go down like Charles Barkley. You don't want to go down like some of these guys, right? So if you feel like there's another team out there that helps get you closer to that goal, I think that weighs on it. How close are the Cavs to that? And let alone all the changes that are going to happen this offseason and their moves. I think the toughest thing for Donovan would be you almost want to see what it would be if he opts in without actually having to do it. You know what I mean? Because they're going to just stare at each other. Kobe Altman's going to stare at Donovan Mitchell and go, if you say yes, these are the moves I'm making. This is the Garland trade I'm making. This is the head coaching hire that I'm making. These are I got trade yesterday about moving on from Allen and LeVert and Garland, and you bring in this guy. I'm going to make all these moves if you say yes. But if you say no, then these are the, like, at that point, what does Donovan care, right? it's almost like Donovan wishes he could see what these moves would be, but you can't actually do them until he says yes, and then he's stuck. And there's no world that he comes back on, well, I'll just play this season out on the last part of my deal. That ain't happening. If he doesn't sign an extension, they're trading him. So it's like, you're going to ask a little bit of a crystal ball here. You're going to ask for a little bit of like a future, like a tarot card reader. So you're going to go sit down with somebody and go, what are the Cavs going to do if I stay? Oh, they're going to trade for Brandon Ingram. Oh, they're going to go trade for C.J. McCollum. Whatever, right? Okay, well, then that helps you make your decision. He's not going to know that. So that's a really tough situation that he's going to have to be in. Real honest conversations he's going to have with the Cavs.
All right, well, the Guardians open a 3-game series against the Minnesota Twins. First game is tonight, 7:10 slated for the first pitch. Tristan McKenzie on the mound for the Guardians. For the Twins, it's Simeon Woods. Guardians open as a slight -125 favorite, Matt.
That's good. You're at home. I want some of these series. And if we get swept, which I don't think is going to happen, but I want the Guardians to show them who they are. Let them know, if you will, from the Cavs. I want the Guardians to show the Twins who we are. You're not in the same league as us, and I want them to win the series. You just win the series, you'll be doing just fine. Is that not exciting, though? And who was I? Oh, I was talking to, shout out to Jason and Sean. I got my haircut yesterday. And Jason's a massive baseball fan, as is Sean. And we were sitting there talking about it. Shout out to Gormley's, by the way. Need a good haircut or a good Guinness? Go to Gormley's there in River. And we're talking about the just excitement that I have that I get to watch baseball every night. And I'm like, literally, I look forward to baseball every night. And it just helps that much more when you're in it and when you have big games. Like, this is a massive series for the Guardians. And I hope they can play tonight. I think they're going to be able to. But, like, bro, I get so jacked. I get so excited to watch meaningful baseball every night. So get after it, Guards. Let's go, Tristan McKenzie. Oh, we want to send a little boost for tonight? We could? Right, we'll work on that. Typical code Fontana 150.
All right, well,
Scottie,
look at Feel Good, Play Good, though, for the Guardians as well. As it's the
the City Connect. That's right.
Yes.
They're okay. They're not great. They're okay. I don't know what to tell you. Standing ovation for Scottie as he reaches the first tee. Yeah.
Well, we'll end the morning update with that because we got to get things moving.
Yeah,
but yes, a tumultuous morning for day 2 at the
He's
PGA
texting his phone right now. Could you imagine his poor wife sitting at home with a newborn baby? Yeah, your husband was just arrested this morning. Poor Meredith. Yeah. He is in he's in the tent getting his scorecard and tees. Ted Scott has his. They're ready to go. What a week, man. Rory's getting divorced. Scottie got arrested.
Anyway, and the actual PGA Championship, Xander Schauffele
what
is the
a
leader
round
after
for
day 1. He
Xander,
shoots 9 under in the opening round as he looks to capture his first PGA
They were
Championship.
scoring yesterday, man. Finau was after it. Sahith Theegala. Every tournament I say you got to put money on Tony Finau. Tony Finau is good enough. He's going to win a major one time, and I just need to put money on him. The other insane thing about Xander Schauffele, he shot a 62. There's only been 4 rounds of 62 in major championships. He has 2 of them. Wow. The other one was, I think, Keegan Bradley. The other one was like Brendan Grace or something like that. He's got 2 of them. Think he's going to hold on? Odds would tell you.
It's Scott's.
I don't know, man.
It's Scotty's after
what's he,
going on.
4 shots back? 5 shots back? That's a lot to come over. I'll leave it up to you. What do you want to do next?
Well, let's do the grid.
All right, grid. Here we go. Let's end the week strong on the grid, buddy. Strong on the grid this week. If you're new to the show, first off, welcome, and we accept your help. If you can text me, text. Not a lot of people can do that. But you can tweet at MattFontaine83, at RyanTyler33, or jump in our YouTube comments. Help us out. Finish out strong with the grid. Way to go up and down, left and right for a player. That player has had to have played a game for said team and gotten 10 sacks in a season. I think, with said team. But I don't know. Ryan, let's run through it. I still have my timer from yesterday. Go! Morning update.
All right, 10-plus sacks in a season is our first one. So we're. Can you think of anybody else? Because we could say Von Miller.
All right, Von Miller would go there. The question... Bills, Bruce Smith. The all-time sack getter, Bruce Smith. Okay, then go Von. You can go Mad Max there for the Raiders. What goes between 1X and 2 and max? Would you rather have 1 or 2?
2.
I think 2 is kind of cool. I like the name Max. I think it's a great name. Jets.
I mean, Quinnen Williams probably.
Oh yeah, probably. Mark Gastineau.
He's a D tackle, but
he's had to have had 10, right? Sure, go Quinnen Williams. I can't think of anybody else, so just rip it. Just rip it. Let's go. All right. Woo! All right, first one averted there.
C-ball.
All right, let's jump into it here. Anything jumping out here? I feel like there's something Panthers quarterback, Bills Jets, like Fitzpatrick comes to mind there.
yeah.
Which one though? Any of the two? Jets, Bills, and has he played for the Panthers? Ryan Fitzpatrick?
I thought so.
I don't know. All right, I Google him every day to do this damn thing. You think I'd remember? So obviously we know Buffalo and we know the Jets. The question is, did he play in Carolina? He did not. He did not. Okay. So he's out for this. We don't need him for any of this because he doesn't fit. Whoa.
I like my mind is fuzzy.
I know. These are some tough teams for us this morning here. All right, Panthers.
Should we just start ripping Panthers quarterbacks?
Jake Delhomme.
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton. Baker doesn't work. Cam Newton, no. Didn't I say Joey Harrington the other day?
Did Stephon Gilmore play for the Bills?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He was. I think he was drafted there, was he not? Yeah.
Didn't he play a year on the Panthers?
Yes, I think you're right. Stephon Gilmore is a good pick there. You're right. Why do I keep thinking?
Or did he just sign with them this year?
But I think he played there already. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. We're good. Why do I keep thinking Joey Harrington plays for the Panthers? Why do I keep thinking that? And it's not true at all. Carolina Panthers starting quarterback. I know Delhomme, Vinny Testaverde, Cam, Kyle Allen.
Did Demaryius Thomas play in the Jets? Or am I just making that up?
No, he went to another team. But I thought he went to. Didn't he go to Houston? No, he played in the Jets. Demaryius Thomas works.
Okay.
Yeah, Demaryius Thomas works.
I
Good pull
thought
there.
so.
Good pull. He did go to Houston also, by the way, but it works for the Jets as well. There you go. All right.
How do you spell Demar?
Demar should get you close enough. Then Y. Yeah, Demaryius Thomas. Okay, good. Good. All right. Do you want to try to finish out Broncos Raiders? Why? No. I don't know why I thought of Jimmy Clausen. No.
Royce Freeman?
No.
Philip Lindsay didn't play for the Raiders. I don't
No. Dude. No, not Kenny Stabler, right? No way. No. This is a tough one for us today, man.
Try Panthers?
I mean, I'm open to try anything at this point.
Panthers Raiders. Ted Ginn didn't play for the Raiders.
No. He did not.
Corey Davis didn't play for the Panthers?
He was in Tennessee.
Greg Olson play anywhere?
No. Dude.
Should I check the YouTube?
Yeah, check comments, man. We need to get a bailout here, dude. Woo!
Kerry Collins, Panthers, Raiders.
Okay, I'll listen to that. Panthers, Raiders, Kerry Collins. Kerry Collins, I like that. Good pull. Giants is what I think of with him. Thank you for whoever that was. Appreciate the assist there.
I think we have another one.
Okay, all right.
Josh McCown, Panthers. Oh, wait, that was Panthers, Raiders as well.
Yeah.
He said, Angelo says, does Josh Norman work for Panthers Bills?
He does. He does. Josh Norman does, I think. It sounds good. I'll rip it.
All
Go
right.
for it.
All right. Which one was it again?
Panthers.
Oh, we already have.
Yeah, we
Panthers.
already had that one. Panthers, Bills
Oh.
is right. So, yeah, we're done on that one.
Is
I
it
appreciate
Brandon, Did Brandon Marshall play for Panthers?
I don't know. You talk yourself into it, right? You keep thinking about it, sure. Dude.
We got like a couple minutes.
I know, but we also got to get to timeout. I guess we got a few minutes here.
Panthers, Jets. Like Jonathan Stewart. We need to go
No.
to the Jets.
There's got to be quarterbacks. We've got to be missing some quarterbacks in this thing. Sam Darnold is your
We
answer.
thought of it at the same time.
Sam Darnold.
Did you see my face?
Yes, Sam Darnold is your answer. That's how the grid messes with you, doesn't it?
Oh, we got to get this.
Broncos, Raiders.
Did Alex Leatherwood play for the Broncos?
Ooh. I like your thought process. I like your thought process here. Now, I don't want to Google it because that would spoil it. Let's save Alex Leatherwood for,
That's a deep cut.
that's a deep cut. It's a deep cut. Let's save it. Because I'm trying to think of quarterback.
Did Wes Welker play anywhere else?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously in Denver,
did he
in
play
New
for the
England,
Raiders,
in Miami, and all that, but I don't think he ever played for the Raiders. My thought was going to Mark Sanchez came to a mind for a second. Because I know he's in Denver. Tim Tebow never played for the Raiders, right? No. He actually would have worked for Broncos Jets. Tim Tebow would have.
Terrell Pryor never made his way to the Broncos, did he?
I don't think so. That's another really good pull on Terrell Pryor. I think he was Cleveland. Obviously, he played quarterback with the Raiders with Hugh, and then they tried to flip him receiver. Then he came here. Then he went to Washington. Wait, what do we need? Yeah, he never played in. He would have worked for Buffalo, though. By the way, he would have worked for Buffalo there. Dude, there's gotta be.
Angelo says Lyle Alzado.
Oh, Lyle Alzado. Yeah. Does he work for that? I'll listen to it.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, I remember Lyle Alzado. Former Cleveland Brown, too, by the way. DN. Broncos, Browns, Raiders. Well done. Lyle Alzado. Yes. I love it.
Can you see if Alex Leatherwood
Yeah, I'm
would
going to
work?
Google him right now. Can you click on that one to see?
Yeah, some of the ones we missed. So
Yeah.
Latavius Murray we could have got.
Raider? No, Alex Leatherwood would not have worked. He went Raiders, Bears, Browns. Do you have the quarterbacks up? Are you talking about for that middle one with Broncos, Raiders? What do you got? Best guess.
Willie Brown.
Okay. Lyle Alzado. Well done.
Bill
Well-
Romanowski. Chester
Oh,
McLaughlin.
I forgot about Bill Romanowski. That would have been a good pull.
Modern Moore era. Jared Stidham.
Jarrett Stidham. Well done. Yes.
And Latavius Murray.
Okay. Latavius Murray's another good sneaky one for this as we run through. All right, appreciate all the support. That's how you finish it out, Ryan. Let's sprint right to it. Let's get to a little bit of time hop. I got some in the Twitter. Thank you very much. That was tweeting. We also have our boost up, by the way, at Tipico. Go get that. I'm going to hit the retweet on that. All right, let's get to a little bit of time up here on the 17th of May, including this day 2020. The final 2 episodes of The Last Dance were released. I think that was a perfect time for it. You were in COVID. You had nothing to do. I understand it's a Michael Jordan propaganda piece. The Last Dance
While
was
LeBron
pretty...
got a ring, by the way.
What?
The same year LeBron.
Oh, sure.
got
LeBron got a ring. You're right on that. This day, 2019, Robert Pattinson was officially announced as the new Batman. Good pick. Love that movie. It's one of my favorites. Also, speaking of Josh McCown, this day 2019, after 17 seasons, and I think almost 17 teams, Josh McCown announces his retirement. We also go back this day 2017, Eastern Conference Finals, Game 1. Cavs beat Boston 117-104. I remember this game, Ryan, because Kevin Love went insane in the third quarter. He had 18 points, including 5 threes in just the third quarter, on his way to 32 points and leading the Cavs to a Game 1 Eastern Conference Finals win. I remember that game. I remember him in the third quarter. He was just lighting it up. That's the version of Kevin Love that you wanted. Also this day, 2016, Eastern Conference Finals Game 1, Cavs beat Toronto 115-85. Well, guy that helped you get there was Kyrie Irving. This day, 2011, Cavs win the NBA draft lottery and the right to draft Kyrie Irving. That's a big night. Big night for the Cavs. They were not favored, right? No, that was one that we had like the 5th best odds or something like that, and you snagged number 1. I remember this because it was an interesting story just for the fact of this guy has a tie to Cleveland. This day, 2009, Tampa Bay manager Joe Madden messes up his lineup card and forced pitcher Andy Sonnenstein to bat third. He actually had an RBI double, and the Rays beat the Indians 7-5. Andy Sonnenstein went to Kent State. Wow. He's a Northeast Ohio guy. So Joe Madden messes the lineup up, forces his pitcher to hit. He not only gets the win, but has an RBI double, like true Babe Ruth type stuff. Playing it on out there this day, 2009. We said goodbye to Beverly Hills 90210 this day, 2000. Never watched it. I know it's a big show from the 90s. Kind of is what it is. Very important one here. This day, 1954, Brown versus Board of Education was decided, which ended racial segregation in schools. This day, 1954. Do you know what the first ever televised sporting event on NBC was? Aired this day, 1939. It was a college baseball game. Princeton and Columbia. This day, 1939. This day, 1875, the first ever Kentucky Derby. Aristodes won the first ever Kentucky Derby. This day, 1875. Very happy birthday goes out to Sugar Ray, Cavs champion Channing Frye, former Indians pitcher Jeremy Sowers, current Browns offensive lineman Jedrick Wills, Matt Ryan, Dennis Hopper, Bob Saget, and Bill Paxton. Nice. That's quite a little trio of actors right there. Dennis Hopper, Bob Saget, and Bill Paxton, all celebrating birthdays today. All right, 2 movies for you today. These are fringe movies. I don't know quite how you're going to do on them, but we'll see. Okay. We start this day, 1996, with a family on a vacation who befriends an aquatic animal on their vacation.
Befriends an aquatic animal on their vacation.
Yes. There's a movie you might be thinking of. It's not that one. It's the other one.
It's the other.
If you thought about sea animals.
Sure.
There are not a lot of movies surrounding sea animals. It's a family movie.
It's not animated, is it?
No, it's live action.
Can I know what the animal is, or does that give it away?
Kind of gives it away.
Is it like a fish?
No.
Is it a dolphin? It is?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've never seen this.
It doesn't matter. If you had to name the only movie in the history of the world that has to do with a dolphin, what would you say?
What would I name it?
No, what would be the movie?
The Dolphin?
Yeah.
It's called The Dolphin?
Well, no. The dolphin's name is the name of this movie, and if I told you that there's a movie about a dolphin, there's only one movie in the history of the world that you would ever say is about a dolphin.
How am I supposed to know what the dolphin's name is?
What do you mean?
Blowhole?
No.
It's a whale. It's a whale. It's a whale.
Dolphins also have blowholes, Ryan, but I mean, you're missing the point here.
Fin?
No, it has nothing to do with the anatomy of the dolphin. The name of the dolphin is the name of this movie.
Philip?
You're close. You're shockingly close.
Phineas?
No.
Finn?
No.
Felicia?
No.
Phil Ricardo?
No. There is only one movie. I'm sure you've not seen it. There's only one movie, and I'm not. What?
Willie?
No.
Oh, that's the whale. That's the whale.
That's what I thought you were going to say. It was Free Willy. It's not that. It's not that. That's about a killer whale. This is a dolphin. There's only one. Oh, my God.
It sounds like Philip?
Yes. I'm just more shocked that in the
Phil?
lexicon. No. In the lexicon of movies,
Okay.
there's only one that you would ever say is about a dolphin.
And I haven't seen it.
It doesn't matter. I would think that it would just be like there. You're really not gonna be able to get this, are you?
Why? Like, I'm confused. You're acting like I should know
It's
that.
not that you've even seen the movie. It's that I would assume most people would say or know. If I said a movie about a dolphin, even if you haven't seen it, there's only one that you could think of.
What do you name a dolphin? I don't know. Ben.
Flipper. Flipper. You've never heard of Flipper?
No.
The movie?
No.
I think there's sequels.
No. Flipper.
Flipper, the dolphin.
You
That's
blew a
it.
gasket over Flipper?
No, I'm just saying, how did, like, if... I haven't seen it in forever. Like, I have seen, but, like, if I ask the average person, name me a movie about a dolphin,
I don't know
most
about
everybody
that.
knows about Flipper.
I don't know about that.
I think it...
I don't know about
Okay,
that.
fine. All right. Flipper is the answer. You're in no way getting this one, but we'll try. This day, 1991, Richard Dreyfuss, Bill Murray, in a film about a psychiatric patient who basically becomes a member of the family of the psychiatrist trying to help him.
Nope.
Probably never heard it. It's called What About Bob? Nope. So Richard Dreyfuss plays the psychiatrist trying to help Bill Murray, and like he just invites himself on his family vacation. He invites himself to be a part of the family. But What About Bob is the film this day, 1991.
I want to know if people would have got Flipper.
Do this. Here's the tweet that you would send out. Name me a movie about a dolphin and see how many people would say Flipper. That would be your question. And I would assume that almost everybody would just say Flipper because it's the only one. It's the only one.
No.
Okay. Well, you can try to do that to find out if you were not the only one. I think you might have been.
No way I would.
I'll ask Spencer that coming up in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that'll be a good test.
I'll ask Spencer as soon as he joins us. If I had to ask you to name me a movie about a dolphin,
Sure.
do you want to see if you say Flipper?
Sure.
All right. Spencer Davies coming up in a couple of minutes here. We got to talk a lot of Cavs with Spencer. Now, the first thing is, Mike does have a good tweet. Flipper came out 30 years ago. It was a TV show, by the way, too. So maybe your youth is just you chalk that up for what it is.
And
sure, I'll listen to that.
23.
I know, but I thought, here's the thing. I just thought that Flipper was like transcendent it's like Citizen Kane.
Dude, I was playing basketball yesterday, and some woman thought I was like 17.
Man, I get it. You always want to be confused for being younger than you actually are.
Yeah, once you're older, you do.
Yeah. You're not wrong with that right now. Do you still get carded when you go places?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, I haven't had to do that forever.
Do I look 17?
I wouldn't say 17. I would assume, yeah, you're 22. That's where you're at. You're 23, right?
3.
Yeah, there you go. So I'll give you the year off.
All right.
That's not bad. It's not so bad.
Because I can't grow a beard.
You said you could. It just takes forever.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit
let it
here
go.
for a year looking like
So
garbage.
what? Who do you got to impress? Maybe that's the key for everybody.
Clearly somebody.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk to Spencer coming up. Spencer Davies is going to join us because we're covering the Cavs, all over the Cavs. I'll ask him the impossible question of where he thinks we stand with Donovan Mitchell. Here's the one thing that I really want to get from Spencer and have the conversation about.
And yeah, Angela says, I'm definitely with Ryan on that. Flipper doesn't deserve that kind of
Come
hype.
on, what do you mean? There is only one dolphin movie. Like, okay, if I said name me a movie about dinosaurs, what are you going to say? Jurassic Park.
Yeah, you were acting like Flipper was on that level.
I'm not saying it was on the level, but it's popular enough, and especially with the television show. It's a
You didn't
niche.
even know there was a television show
I
until
did too.
5 seconds
no,
ago.
I did too.
You just said,
And
there's a television show
There's
too.
multiple ones. I forgot about the TV show, but it's so niche. If I said name me a movie about a killer whale, you say Free Willy. That's it. That's the only one.
Yeah, but that's Flipper's not on the level of Free Willy.
I know it's not, but it's still just the fact that it's the only answer to that question.
Well, we'll see what Spencer has to say.
It's the only answer to that.
Oh, he's here.
Here he comes. I'm not going to spoil this because we need to be this unmitigated. Like, we can't spoil Spencer on this. Okay. I want to talk Cavs. We had a lot to talk about the Cavs. You ready? Yeah. Spencer, this is the Cavs are most important. We'll talk Donovan Mitchell. You got to settle debate on this show right now.
Oh, boy.
If I asked you to name me a movie about a dolphin, what movie would you say?
Ace Ventura.
Damn, that is a good answer. Damn it. Damn it. What an answer. Because that is 1,000% correct. Damn it, Ryan's. Okay, if I had to ask you to name me another movie about a dolphin, damn, what an answer. Damn it.
Flipper.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you. Here's the debate. So we do Time Up where we go back, this day in history, right? So Flipper came out this day, 1996. And my proposal, so to speak, to Ryan, because he didn't get it, and I said, this is the only movie that you would say centers around a dolphin. Now, Spencer just sent me, you just launched me into the stratosphere, bro, because you are 1,000% correct, and I didn't think about Ace Ventura. But the other option would have been Flipper. And I was getting on Ryan's case because I said, it's like just so niche that you would have to just say Flipper. And he never even heard of Flipper.
Did Donovan Mitchell see Flipper?
I don't know if he has. I'm assuming he's a little younger, maybe not. I don't know. Spencer Davies joining us. He just, well done, dude. I didn't even think about Ace Ventura, and I love Ace Ventura. That's such a good pull. Follow Spencer on Twitter @SpinDavies for all your Dolphin movie breakdowns, and more importantly, the Cavs. Hoop Industry, Cavs Insider, part of Fan Nation. Spencer, there's the million questions surrounding Donovan Mitchell, and I know he's on social media trying to set the record straight. How this season played out, I tell you, Spencer, like I'm trying to put the blinders on about all this other stuff that is happening because you mean everybody what? We just want to wait to see what Donovan Mitchell's answer is. Is he signing the extension? Is he going to wait it out? I didn't want to ask you a question, Spencer. I'm just going to lay it up to you, man. Where do you think all of this stands with Mitchell? What do you think is most important to him? When might we get a decision? It's just we're all waiting to see what Donovan's going to do.
Yeah, I'm not going to come on here and make stuff up and think that I know what somebody else is thinking.
Right. None of us know. Right. None of us know. Nobody.
Yeah. If I had to guess, he wants to win a championship, and that's where he is at his career. He's in his I think 7th season, and he's 28, and he's in the heart of his prime. He's probably a little frustrated because of the injury that kept him out of the last 2 games of the postseason. But I think it works out well in the favor of a Cavs fan when you see him like a tweet that's talking about the media is trying to get me out of here, right? It probably works out in their favor too, that they can pay him $70 million more if they resign him. So, I don't think that I've said for 2 years now, since he got here, that all the national outlets have been just trying to pry him out of Cleveland. And the assumption was he didn't want to be there. But like I said on my pod yesterday, he's been an exemplary teammate. He's been terrific in just pulling guys aside, giving them pointers. Isaac Okoro's locker is right next to his. He constantly talks to Isaac after games when the cameras aren't on. Jared Allen, he comes to bat for him. Talks to Craig Porter Jr. and puts his hand around, his shoulder and gives him a lot of advice. So that's the stuff that people don't see. And I think even on the court, when you see the way that he claps and he's very demonstrative and saying, guys, don't get down on yourselves if they go on, if another team goes on like a 10-0 run. He's consistently done that. And that's what a leader does. That's what a superstar does. And he's shown everything but the fact that others think that he wants to get out of Cleveland.
And I've said too, I think he does like it here, and I think he likes his teammates. All of that can be true, and maybe he still wants to go. And you and I are kind of maybe on the same page here, Spencer. I think Donovan is one of those guys. He's so good, it would be a crime if he never won a championship in his career or never made the NBA Finals. I think that is a bigger factor in this than maybe some realize. That pressure is there. Like you said, he's entering the prime of his career. I know money is important, but I think winning a championship. Now, a lot of people would come back and say there is a real possibility he could win one here in Cleveland. And I understand that. But knowing all these moves that might happen or might not happen this offseason, that weighs heavy, I think, on Donovan. And there could be a world, and I'd love your thoughts on this, Spencer, about do you think Donovan Mitchell can get a good sense of what it would be if he stayed without actually having to stay? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like, can he get a crystal ball and project what Kobe Altman is going to do if he stays without him actually having to commit? Do you think there's a possibility he could do that?
Yeah, just because I think the Cavs took such a huge load to get for him from Utah that I feel like them abandoning that plan would be a really, really tough thing to do. And there's quite a bit of murmurs that, other teams would be interested in Darius Garland if that came up. Other teams would be interested in Jared Allen if that came up. I think that Evan Mobley's pretty safe and he's going to get paid in this offseason. So those are, that's the core four. You got to see what possibly you could get back for those guys. And it sucks because I know that Donovan likes all of these guys. He's very close with this locker room, but unfortunately buddy isn't the bottom line business that the NBA is. And we've seen that in the past with, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. We've seen that in the past with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, so we'll see where it goes. And I think that Donovan's the first domino. You figure out what he wants to do first, and then you go from there. But for me, when I'm looking at, if I was looking at this like I'm Donovan, I'm looking at other guys that are teaming up together and seeing it hasn't worked. I'm looking at Phoenix. You got no point guard in that entire operation, and they got ousted in the first round in embarrassing fashion, mind you. LeBron James and Anthony Davis had, top heavy roster in LA. They got beat in the first round. Is Brooklyn really going to be a move up, or is it a lateral move just because they're in a bigger market? The Heat give you a really, that gives you a little bit more of a realistic situation. And obviously we know his relationship with Bam Adebayo, but you got to think again for the Cavs, who still have a year left of Donovan Mitchell if they decide so, and they don't want to trade him away. Would they really be willing to take back the package that has been shopped around for 3 years now of Tyler Hero being the top of the list? So I'm thinking in terms of that more than, Donovan wanting to go elsewhere. I don't think he would force his way out either.
Sure.
But I will give you this, we're not used to seeing somebody who doesn't want to be here not act like they want to be here. It's different because like LeBron wore his heart on his sleeve. You would know just by the way that he kind of showed it on camera and the way he would answer questions and all that. Donovan came quick to the defense of his teammates yesterday by calling out a report around here that said that he was frustrated with his team's lack of maturity. We've never seen that before. And, there's a chance that is to protect his image, but there's also a chance that it's real because that's what Donovan's been since he's been here. So again, it's hard to read the tea leaves.
Spencer Davies joining us. Of course, follow him on Twitter and Instagram, Spin Davies, Hoop Industry, Cavs Insider podcast over there, part of Fan Nation for all of it. Spencer, when you talk about the offseason with Donovan, do you, and you kind of mentioned it there, do you think there's a chance that if he even said, I'm not signing the extension, I would like to play it out, that they would keep him? I guess I'm just so conditioned that if he says, I'm not signing the extension, that the Cavs would then have to turn around right away and trade him. Do you think that there's a world that he could just play out the last year here and see how it goes?
I think it's possible.
Okay.
Again, you don't make a move for somebody like that. And also, superstars don't grow on trees. That's the other thing I think about this, that you would have to, I think you would go all in on that, because even if you do get burned, you still, depending on what you moved after that, that's why everything's so hypothetical. Because like, then if you commit to him and you get rid of one or two of the pieces that were top draft picks that you brought in after the post LeBron era, then you're kind of setting yourself back again. However, I will say this. A lot of people do this championship or bust thing, and I disagree with it because I don't think tanking works. I don't think that banking your future on misery for 4 or 5 straight years before you even get back into the play-in conversation and then takes 2 or 3 years to get back into the playoffs conversation after that. I don't think that's smart. I think that by the time that the star that you hunt in the draft is good enough, there's going to be other teams with bigger aspirations and a bigger market waiting anyway after you do all that work developing them. So I'm not a proponent of the tanking movement. I don't think it's smart, and I don't think it's gotten anyone anywhere yet.
You got examples. Zion down there in Pelican. He wants probably out of there. They're getting rid of Trae Young in Atlanta. I guess some teams you would look at and you say, okay, the Dallas, obviously with that trade with Trae Young, but like Dallas worked out because they found Luka. Like Milwaukee found Giannis. But those guys weren't even first overall picks. So you and I are on the same page with that. I think it's you want to find star players however you find them. And the Cavs did find their star in Donovan Mitchell. Maybe you didn't have other guys show up like you needed to. That's one of my biggest frustrations, Spencer, about this team is I know the Cavs are better than how they played. I know they're better than how they were, and they were injured, and they were missing guys like that. And that's maybe something that Donovan holds on to say, yeah, I believe in the future of this team. I believe that we're better than what we played. Is that enough to make him come back or not? I guess that's kind of one of the biggest questions.
I feel like I don't know if running it back the exact same way
no,
is
right.
how
Yeah.
it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have to do something.
Yeah.
You're completely right though, and I think we talked about this with the playoffs. You know, Max Strus and George Niang, those were logical signings.
Yeah.
Those are guys that were proven people in playoff situations who have come up big in multiple moments, and they had a track record coming in. Sorry guys, hindsight's 2020. Don't expect George Niang to shoot 10% in the playoffs and play himself out of the rotation. I don't expect Max Strus to shoot as poorly as he did, even though he did a lot more, played really good defense and needed a playmaker in a pinch. He did that too. But you're going to need to try and find more or find better complementary pieces. Or if you have the patience, let them see what happens in the first part of the next season. And if it doesn't work, then you have yourself, some more tradable players. But I think this ultimately comes down to Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen and whether or not they're the correct fit with the core four, or if it's Donovan Mitchell and Jarrett Allen, or if it's Darius Garland and Evan Mobley and they do trade Donovan Mitchell. There's so many variables that the Cavs have this offseason. And then if you want to toss in another one, Isaac Okoro is going to be a restricted free agent.
Yeah.
How much is he going to command after what he did in the postseason? Did that help him out? Is that going to help the Cavs out because his number's going to be lower and they're going to be able to match? So a lot of questions, but I don't think the situation's as dire as people are making it because there's been incremental progress over the years. They got beat by probably a title favorite in the second round. And even though it was 5 games, it was a competitive series when you were coming in limping. So
joining Spencer Davies. Follow him on Twitter, Spin Davies, Talking Cavs. Of all the things, Spencer, that we don't know about, that we're kind of wondering on, there is one for sure in my mind, and that's the Cavs will need to find a new head coach. And I like JB Bickerstaff. I was a defender of his up until the end, and then we crossed the line. And I think part of that was that Hornets loss a long time ago where you got done, you were playing a lowly team, and he comes out and he says, we didn't play with effort. And I was like, that's it. I'm sorry. And I know people want to flip and see some of the job that JB did in this series against Boston with some of the creative lineups, with really some of the change. And then, yes, you mix in the reports that the team wasn't happy and the players and all that. I crossed the line. I can't go back. I think the decision is going to be made. And if it's Dave Yeager, if it's Kenny Atkinson, I don't know if they're giant upgrades. But, Spencer, I've crossed that the Cavs will be looking for a new head coach. Do you agree with me? Do you think that's just set in stone that JB is going to go?
I think it's pretty likely, but I also think that JB was kind of handed a bad plate because, this roster wasn't perfect either. Mm-hmm. So I think there was, you got to kind of share blame on that one. The one time he had somebody that was sizable at the 3 and innovatively, he put Larry Markin in there. That was one of the most fun seasons that the Cavs ever had. And that kind of got destroyed at the end by injury as well. However, there has to be some sort of notice of a pattern when it comes to injuries in the second half of the season and faltering at the second half of the season. Are you playing your guys too much? 44 minutes on the second night of a back-to-back. Maybe a little too much. Very Tibbsian, if you will. of the way that you handle a rotation.
I like
Maybe
that
don't-
word. We need to insert that into the NBA lexicon, a little Tibbyism there, if you want, from Tom Thibodeau. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe going 8 to 9 deep in the regular season isn't the way. Maybe 10 to 11, even if it's just playing guys 5-6 minutes just to give some guys a breather. Like in the article that The Athletic wrote, they said that Donovan Mitchell declined Team USA's invitation because of the usage he had on this team, and who's giving him that usage? It's JV Bickerstaff.
I'm glad you
and
brought that up.
Also, it's weird to me that he did more with less. And when the full piece of the puzzle was together, that's when it was hard to figure out. And mind you, they only played 28 games together this year. The entire starting lineup fully healthy, which is insane to me. But there are definitely some redundancies there, and I think when you look at this playoff series, you look at Game 4 the way that Darius Garland played, you look at Game 5 and Game 2 the way that Evan Mobley played as a 5, then you've got to at least consider these things.
Well, and you mentioned Mitchell because the report was that Kobe came in and JB and go, why are you playing him so much? And he came back and he said, well, I asked Donovan if he wanted to stay in the game. And he said, yeah. And it's like, I know he's going to say that, but you got to look at him like, hey, I'm going to protect you from yourself. Get the hell out of the game. Maybe that's some of the disconnect there. You mentioned Garland. You mentioned Jared Allen. Again, loaded question. Where do we think we stand? I mean, it's all like I see the world where obviously Mitchell stays, Garland's got to go. Mitchell leaves, Garland's going to stay. And I think with Darius, the trade value, if Mitchell does stay, I think certainly took a hit for a guy that's on a max contract. And I'm sure, Spencer, that there's a team that looks at Darius and says, the guy's a former All-Star. He is a max player or was at one point. That hurts trade value and all that. But those are the two guys, and I know Allen's been traded off this team for 5 years now. We call that Kevin Love syndrome at this point. Where do you think those two stand, and is it strictly just related to what Donovan Mitchell does?
Again, I think, like you said, Donovan's the domino here. You got to figure out what he wants to do first, and that's what makes this so difficult. I think that he likes playing with Darius Garland, and I think he loves Darius Garland as a teammate. I don't know if DG is long for here just because of the urgency that is being put on the organization. And again, you only have so many options to trade for a wing or trade for, a better player to go alongside Donovan Mitchell, who probably, in all honesty, will be commanding that, those point guard roles that we saw during the, January crazy run where, DG and Evan were down and Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen were just one of the best duos in the NBA. I think that other teams will definitely covet Darius and be aware and know the contextual stuff surrounding why it happened, like the losing 12 pounds after breaking his jaw, a personal loss off the floor coming like literally right after that, coming back into a team that's playing completely different than when it was before you went out. I think a lot of that has to do with it, but also, at the same time with Darius, in Game 5, he was playing stubborn. So he needs to get that stubbornness out of his mind. If you can't beat a matchup, then you got to change up the strategy. Got to give you that too. But I think the jump shot will come back. I think he'll have his usual dancing going on. And he did a dang good job of protecting the ball in the postseason, other than, that matchup against Orlando. But everyone has trouble with the Magic with that. But as far as you asked about Jared Allen, I think Jared Allen's also a candidate to go elsewhere. But there's going to be suitors for him after his strongest season and the way that he mentally responded from the series last year against the Knicks and really gave the Cavs everything in that Magic series. So there'll be people calling, I think, at least.
Yeah, and that's I imagine Kobe just tries. I joked on the show this week, Spencer, about Kobe and Donovan just staring at each other and just waiting for one of them to like blink. And it's Donovan waiting to see what Kobe is going to do. And then Donovan and Kobe sitting there waiting like, well, I'm not going to do anything until you do something. I'm not going to do anything until you do something. And it's just
stalemate,
right? And they're going to stare at each other. And maybe Kobe comes back and he says, hey, there is a move I'm going to make no matter what, right? Maybe it is Darius Garland just isn't going to work here anymore. He needs a mental reset somewhere else. Maybe we don't like where we're at with that. That's happening no matter what. Jared Allen is happening no matter what, and then you kind of give that little piece for Donovan Mitchell to play it out and see how it goes. So I'm waiting, and the thing is, Spencer, it's July 1st, right? They can't even offer his max deal till July 1st. We got a month and a half of sitting back here waiting to see what happens. Final thing.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to make us neurotic is what it's going to be. Spencer, I want to do this as the final thing. Your thoughts on this season. Your recap, just like when somebody asks you in 3 years, man, like, hey, what did you think of that 23-24 Cavs team? Is it going to be the injuries? Is it going to be the Garland stuff? Like, I'm trying to picture how I'm going to remember this season. So I'll ask you, Spencer Davies, how do you remember this season?
The text message I always send to the people that ask me about this: Jekyll and Hyde.
Yep.
Jekyll and Hyde. That's how I saw this team this year. I also, you have to be understanding and take everything in individually too. You got to look at the way the injuries did affect the season. They weren't able to get a groove right off the bat because Jared Allen was out for the first, couple weeks with the ankle injury. And then you get into the way that it started. Max Strus was shooting the lights out, and then all of a sudden he wasn't. And then, Donovan went out with some knee injuries, and you had what was going on with Darius and Evan in the middle of the season. Okay, you found a groove, and then Dean Wade goes down, All-Star break comes, and then everything crumbles again. And they're not shooting as many threes the way they were when they were having success. And it's so hard. I do not envy Kobe Altman, Mike Gansey, Brandon Weems, and Brendan Yu, and Jason Hillman, and all those guys in the front office. I do not envy them because how do you evaluate something over the last 3 years? You could even look at this as when the pieces aren't full.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you see the pattern like I'm talking about with the head coach just playing him way too much. Maybe you see that pattern and you say, okay, that's reading to it. But this isn't just coincidental at this point. It's weird how things just change kind of at the second end of the season, but it's also because of injury. So you're not getting the full picture. And it's just so hard to look at because you see moments of greatness where you're like, oh, yeah,
right. And
this can work.
It's just we don't need to do anything, Spencer. We just get Darius Garland back to the level that we know he can play at. We just get Jared Allen to the level we know he can play at, and we'll be just fine. And then the entire future of the franchise just hangs in the balance. Like the decisions that will be made this offseason will send the Cavs one way or another. To your point, I don't envy that because the right answer might be to, I don't know, they can't do nothing because like something's going to necessitate whether the contracts and the money and all that. But you just sit there and you say, I know we're better than that. I know that we're better. Max Strus, Darius Garland, I know these guys are better than what they played. Is that a good enough answer to sell to Dan Gilbert? Is that enough to sell to this fan base of like, we just know these guys are better, so we're going to have to just play better?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I don't know if it's a good enough answer or not. Probably not is what I would think. But you gotta make some sort of move here. And it doesn't have to be extremely drastic, but it could probably be, breaking up the core four, at least one person.
Yeah, it's going to have to be. Spencer, always appreciate your time, man. Follow him on Twitter at Spin Davies for the YouTube, also on, for the podcast I meant, and then also on the Instagram side of things, Spin Davies. I appreciate you, bro. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
No problem, man.
There he goes. Right on. Like, you sit there and you go, can the answer just be, we just need these guys to be better, but then you're also, they can't stay together. It's the thing of, we've talked a lot about the multiverse. There's a multiverse that those four work. Ryan, where I live right now, I can tell you the core four of the Cavs don't work. Core four don't work. Got to move somebody. To shake it up, to get it back to where it needs to be. Do you heed Donovan Mitchell's advice? Like, if you sat down with Donovan Mitchell and he said, which of the ones do you think you not work with? Ooh, that's a spicy question. If you sat down with Donovan Mitchell, you slid him that whiskey, which I call truth serum. Go down to the 3. Which one's the one you don't see it working with? What do you think he'd say?
Well, the obvious answer. Well, I don't know what
you would
he'd say.
think the obvious
answer
answer
is
is
Darius Garland.
You would think that being the
But
answer.
if you're talking about him, if you're just talking about between him, Mobley, and Allen, it has to be Garland because it's the same position as him.
But it's also the guy that I think maybe he's the closest with. I don't know, like just from optics, right? I'd like Kobe Altman to ask him that question. I'd be interested to see what his response is. And then another thing we talked about with Spencer, do you think that it's just to a point where the Cavs move on from Garland regardless? You need somebody to run point on this team, but if you truly believe
I think
it ain't going to work here.
If you're going into a full rebuild with a center around
which you don't want to,
then you would. But if not, then you keep him.
Right. And then you feel like he just comes back to form. Maybe it's better because it's back to being his team again. I don't know. And that's where I'm sure there's going to be a lot of sleepless nights for Kobe Altman. And the thing is, the temptation will be through the roof. Because you're just going to get trade offer after trade offer after trade offer from all these teams. And it's going to take so much fortitude to just keep saying no. Because eventually one of those is going to scratch you where it itches. Eventually one of those offers, you're going to go, ugh. 3 unprotected and Austin Reeves. I'm just kidding because that's the one everybody hated. There's eventually going to be a phone call that Kobe goes, yeah, that's pretty good.
But he's also weighing out. I'm sure he knows a little bit more than we do his job security because, again, it comes back to if he's gone, then why would he want to build a future?
You and I debated that the other day. I think Kobe's got to stay because if you're going to fire the head coach, you have got to keep Kobe Altman around, right? And you believe that he's making the picks for the future?
I don't think you do.
I think you do. In this offseason, which literally everything is here and in the balance and all that, like you have no choice. You got to keep one of them. I don't think you're keeping
his job. Why keep him?
Is he?
I don't know.
Is he?
After last year, I would say yes. Maybe that's unfair of me, but yeah.
Maybe unfair. I don't know. All right, Scheffler birdied, then he bogeyed. He's back to 4 under. Schauffele's 9 under. Colin Morikawa, hot. Everybody's at 6 under. Morikawa, Finau, Tom Kim, Thomas Dietrich, Thigala, Hubbard, and a host of others 6 under at the PGA Championship. Scottie Scheffler is out of jail and on the course. Out of jail and on the course for all the crazy stories that we had this morning. So he's ready to go. Final thing for us on a Friday, as always, Ryan, our champion. Bracket of the week.
Yeah, bad champion. I would
Toy Story.
Toy Story. Like, I get it.
When you're that high up, there's only one way to go down. People try to tear you down with Toy Story.
Yeah, I guess.
My son's a little into it. He just likes Woody and Buzz. And we try to, it's funny, how a 3-year-old's mind works. Like, he has Woody and Buzz t-shirts. He's got Woody and Buzz slippers. So he loves that, but I'm like, all right, bro, let's sit down and watch Toy Story. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, he gets so into the characters. So when there's a scene that they're not in, he's like, I'm not wasting my time with this. I don't care about Rex or Ham or any of these other guys. He goes, where's Woody and Buzz?
Oh, Rex is dope.
Rex, Bo Peep.
Jesse.
The second one, it's not bad. Like, it holds up. I cannot watch that last one where he leaves him in the box. Spoiler alert. Can't do that. Not going to do that. No way at all. Second one's not bad. First one, pretty goated. Pretty good. The pizza place. Everybody, I've seen the truck before, like in
Pizza Planet?
Yeah, Pizza Planet. Where it's at, man. All right, let's go watch Toy Story this weekend in honor. We have Big Play Big Bets later today. Our boost is up with Tipico. They boosted the felon. I'm just kidding. Scott Scheffler is boosted.
The title was no roughs, no cups.
There it is. So it's up for the PGA Championship, which is going on. Get betting that this weekend with Tipico with code Fontana 150. We got Big Play Big Bets coming up a little bit later. All the replays of all of our shows right here. Big Play. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter at Matt Fontana Show, Twitch, YouTube, and of course on the IG side of things with that Matt Fontana Show. Next week, enjoy the hell of the weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Is JB fired by Monday?
No, not by Monday. There's no rush. Lakers, you saw the report about JJ Redick, didn't you? Saw that? I wonder who that would entice to come back here if you signed JJ Redick to be your head coach. All of that for next week. Enjoy the hell out of the weekend. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.